Hello, so as you can tell from the title, I will be talking about today my eating disorder story and that type of thing. So I just wanted to start off with saying like who I am and that kind of stuff. So my name is Jenna Lewis, and I like to play tennis. I like to do normal kid things. I like to hang out with friends. I really like to draw and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to preface everything now, I guess, so like the start of it. So I think, so as a kid, I was super active. I loved food. I loved family. I was just basically your normal kid, which I feel like a lot of people with eating disorders are. Um, so yeah, so I had a normal childhood. Um, my parents are awesome. They're super supporting and loving. They always have been. If you just heard my dad laugh. Um, oh, I was adopted from China. That's a fact. Um, so throughout elementary school, never thought about food, anything like that. I was always the one who ate the most. Whenever we sat down for dinners, I would always try to get the biggest portion of food. So that was me. I had a great relationship with food. I came home every day, had a snack, and got what I wanted, and that kind of stuff. So middle school, I kind of was noticing like that I felt like I was bigger than all the other kids. I was I was definitely not though. So I think that's where body dysmorphia and that kind of stuff started. Um, I'd say that was around 7th grade though. So 13, 13, 12, 13 years old. Then I got into 8th grade. I started like liking boys and all that kind of stuff, and thinking that I had to be perfect for them, um, which is dumb because you don't. So that was that. And then I started soccer, and I was already playing tennis because I did club tennis, and then I was doing school tennis, which tennis wasn't really like anything like club tennis is, more like for fun and everything. Club tennis was definitely more rigid and that kind of stuff. And so the whole thing with soccer is that the coach needed a goalie, and there were no goalies because that's not a very popular position to play. So he basically told all the soccer players, like, if you have any friends that have good eye-hand coordination, that kind of stuff, bring them, and I can see their level or how good they might be. So I met the coach and everything, and we did some drills, and it was super good. He invited me to the team, so basically I was the goalie for that year, and in my head, I wanted to make him proud, even though I barely knew him. But I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to make the team proud, especially my friend who invited me to the team, because I was like, she invited me to this. Like, I've never actually played. Well, that's false. I played soccer when I was really young, so technically I have, but I was never the goalie. So at that time, that's when I started to think more about food and that kind of stuff, because they're boys, they're stressed with school in 8th grade, because then I wanted to be perfect. That's when like the OCD thinking came in, and the anxiety, just to pressure to be great, because after like thinking I needed to be perfect for boys, and it was perfect for the soccer team, then it was to be perfect on my tennis team, and then for basically my whole friends and family. So that's when I started major like restricting and that kind of stuff. So I was never overweight as a kid, like a middle school kid, I guess. And I had really good relationships with everyone, like friends, teachers, family, you know. So when I started restricting, I definitely physically changed, and a lot of people saw it. My grandparents asked my mom, like, why is she so skinny? And then I would always think, like, or I would always say, it's because I'm doing soccer and tennis and club tennis. So I was like, nah, don't worry, like, it's all okay. So that was like the start of when everyone noticed. And then I didn't know this at when it happened, but when I was on my club tennis team, we also did like a little travel team on the side with just people from the club. And apparently my tennis coaches got really, really worried, but they didn't say anything to me. They only said things to my mom. So that was kind of scary. And one of the kids on my team, like, he was never super emotional and never really, he talked, but he didn't talk like a bunch. But apparently he said to his mom, like, I'm really worried about Jenna, like, what's going on with her and everything. But I denied this all. I denied it all. I said that nothing was wrong, and it was just because I was doing so many sports. So I watched a lot of the times. I would come home from practice, and I would just watch, like, eating disorder videos and all that kind of stuff, because I knew, deep down, I knew I had it. So I would watch those kind of videos. I would watch, like, eating videos, not ASMR, but because those weren't really a thing at the time. I would watch, like, all the nutrition videos and everything, and looked up all that kind of stuff, kept track of my BMI, all that kind of stuff. So that was at that point. And then the summer after 8th grade is when it really got bad. I think I told my mom about it at the end of 8th grade. I came downstairs. I remember this like it was yesterday. I came downstairs and I went into her room and started crying, and I just told her, I was like, Mom, I think I have an eating disorder, because before that I started purging and that kind of stuff. She was like, yeah, I think you do too. And then we talked for a little bit, and we were like, how are we gonna deal with this? How is everything gonna play out and that kind of stuff? And there were no really answers because she'd never dealt with it before. And I made sure to tell her, like, it's not your fault. Like, this is not your fault. Like, basically, they're great people, and they didn't pressure me to lose weight or anything like that. So I just knew. I just was like, it's not your fault, which is hard as a parent to hear. I know, but yeah. So actually, a couple months went by, maybe 3 or 4, and we didn't do anything. Nothing. I don't know if it was just the shock factor. We didn't do anything. I carried on with restricting and purging and all that kind of stuff. I was so guilty whenever I ate anything. Yeah, I couldn't eat any, well, I could, but like it was so mental for me, and it was not good. So that was that. And then my mom got in contact with a eating disorder specialist, and we got an appointment with her. I remember February 14th, Valentine's Day, because I had an orthodontist appointment and a therapy appointment. So I met her for the first time. I started crying at the first appointment. She was super nice, super nice. I still see her today, so yeah. So that started the whole therapy side. So I went and saw the lady, let's say Sally. I don't know. So I saw Sally all the time, probably once a week. And then we started. So that was the beginning of that therapy was, I guess the end of 8th grade. So that summer I was not enrolled, like put into a IOP type of treatment thing. So that's outpatient. No, it wasn't. Inpatient. Something like that. And so I went to that every day for 3 hours maybe. It was okay. We did therapy, we did a meeting with the dietitian, we did a lot of like art, mind, body type of things to get in touch with like yourselves, your inner soul, I guess. That I wasn't too crazy about. I don't know. I kind of thought it was cheesy, but that could have just been the eating disorder telling me like you don't have to be there, or like you shouldn't be here or anything. And I vividly remember that every day I would go exercise before those, which in my mind it was like, or I was telling myself like, no, I shouldn't be doing this. But then the eating disorder was just so powerful and so like annoying. So I did it every day. And then sometimes I would come in late, and I'd just tell him it's like my tennis went overtime or something like that. So yeah, so IOP was very helpful. It was outpatient, intensive outpatient program, I think. So that was really helpful. I learned a lot, and I was given a lot of tools. We had to journal every day, like what we were feeling and all that kind of stuff. And this is the time where I really got into drawing and that kind of stuff. So that's really cool because I still do that today. It's a good stress reliever for me. And I also really got into music. It was really calming and everything for me. So yeah. So after summer, I stopped that program because I obviously had school, but I still saw Sally a lot. She was really nice. Probably still saw her once a week, which was kind of hard with school because I would always miss the same class, and my teacher would get really suspicious, but I guess I never wanted to tell her what was actually going on, so I always told her like doctor's appointment, orthodontist appointment, all that kind of stuff. And she was like, oh, you had another orthodontist appointment today. So that was kind of annoying. But but I did have one really good teacher that I was able to tell, and she was really understanding about it. But there was like a topic in school that we were learning. It was for bio too, and it was about like eating disorders and like how much you should be eating and like dieting and all this kind of stuff, which I told Sally about, and she did not like that. So I had to kind of had to talk with the teacher, and she was super understanding and really, really nice. So that was good. So sophomore year went by, and it was really hard. I still did a lot of restricting, still did a lot of purging, but it definitely got better. So then, and every year we go to Florida for spring break and winter break, and that's really hard for me. I haven't really told anybody why it's hard for me, but basically I just have a lot of habits that happen in Florida that are not really good. I never purge because we share a place with my grandparents, and basically I just don't want to do it there. But I do over exercise a lot there, which I have gotten a lot better at, which is good. So I signed up for the student exchange program summer of 2019. So in 2018, at the end of the year, I was like, I need to get better for this trip, which was really nice because I had like a target in mind. So I worked a lot on using my tools to stop the eating disorder from getting so powerful and everything. So I was doing really well, and then I was able to go on the trip, which was really, really fun. I went to Germany, and that was amazing. There, like, I mean, I still had thoughts like of eating disorder habits and that kind of stuff, but honestly, the eating disorder, like, it's really not there too much. Yeah, so after I got back from that trip, well, I started having seizures, which we still don't know what caused them. Don't know if it was from the eating disorder or that kind of thing. But yeah, so after that, I kind of fell into some eating disorder habits, but I definitely was at a good weight. Not gonna say numbers, obviously. And then for some reason, like, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was eating a lot, and then my weight started going up and up and up and up, which is really scary, obviously. So yeah, because I kept going to doctor's appointments for the seizures and kept hearing the numbers and all that kind of stuff, which was really annoying. So I kind of fell back into the whole restricting thingy. But I was able to get out of that because I just knew that that was not going to be good. Did not want to relapse or anything like that. So yeah, I was able to get out of that, and now I see Sally maybe once every 6 weeks, I think. So that's pretty good. And a lot of the times at our meetings or whatever, we don't really, I don't know, I definitely don't have as many problems as I did at the beginning of this. A lot of times at the beginning I would like cry all the time or just shut down and just like couldn't talk, but now I definitely talk. So yeah, so basically now I'd like to put it as I'm at the end of the middle stage. So now I am definitely, now I'd be in the middle of recovering. Yeah, thoughts are still there. I feel like it's going to be a lifelong thing. But I definitely know I will be able to control it soon, I guess. But I'm definitely working, and yeah. So thanks for watching the video. If you want to contact me, I have an Instagram. I'll link that. And yeah, thanks for watching.